Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our live Forex trading show this morning. We've got a little bit of an issue. Neither my camera or Victor's camera is working this morning, but we'll do the best we can. Victor, how are you doing this morning? Oh, seems I've lost audio to Victor now as well. Okay, so let's get going. I got some great stuff to share with you today. Welcome everyone to my live Forex trading show. It's Thursday, July 31st. I want to get to the analysis quickly. Today on the currency revolution, I'm going to cover some great stuff with you. I think we're going to see the currency revolution unfolding faster than we first thought. If you're coming from Google or YouTube, you might have seen my popular video and you're looking for 8 things they don't tell currency traders. Just looking for that here. Why do I not have that up? I'm looking for it. Okay, here, I'm going to show it to you here on my screen. Just at forexartofwar.com, you can get it here. Just put in your email, you'll get 8 things, and you'll also get my first book, or my first book in the 3-part series, The First Battle. Okay, so just to let you know, we're going to be providing more shows and more content on the home page this coming up week, probably. There'll be like maybe 1 or 2 trading shows each week, cutting edge techniques, all the stuff that we do that works so well. We're going to share that with you. All right, so let's get started with the charts. Keep in mind we've been in the middle of the summer slowdown, frankly, because people are just unplugged. But on Tuesday, we saw Wednesday lining up. In other words, the day before yesterday, we saw yesterday lining up with some potential. We had ADP at 8:15 a.m. We had the gross domestic product, so GDP, at 8:30, and everything was just lined up great for some of us who were ready for it. So let me go ahead and show you just a couple of things that happened yesterday. Let me make sure nothing significant is happening now. Well, the euro is moving down through a key level right now. Let me take a look at the pound. Pound's doing that right now as well. So let's go ahead and skip what happened yesterday first and go to what's really happening right now. This is a pound 30-minute chart, and what we're looking for is a seller advantage and then an advantage that's strong enough to get in and out with good risk management. The key here is to make your decisions based upon real historical repetitive behavior, not just something that might be happening. And so to show you what I mean, you can see price came through this level right here. I'm going to drop to a 5-minute chart so we can see what happened after that. So if I drop to a 5-minute chart, here's price. Price is basically coming down through that level right here. You can see these are little waves, pull back, push down, pull back, and so on. And then another, it advances again right here. This is around just not too long after London Open. Pull down, pull back, and then we get one more push down and pull back before you get some strength that takes off right here. And if I remember, this is about 20 pips. Victor reported this in this morning's analysis. Yeah, went down here, 20 pips, textbook right here. So this is that pattern that we look for. Hopefully, I haven't actually checked in with our members in the forums yet in our website, but I'm going to check that in a little bit. So there's that pattern that we're looking for. So ideally, when you have a move that's strong enough, you want to manage your risk. It's really easy to see which way price is likely to go. The hard part is knowing where to get in and get out. And so you have to know a few things in order to do that with a high degree of success. So, our traders would have gotten in maybe here or here, somewhere in these 2 levels, and then gotten out about right here. So that was then. Now let's see what's happening now. We came through. We're only concerned with when the sellers, in this case sellers, have a high probability advantage. Now, I'm trying to find that place where price is just obviously struggling, and that's it right there. I prefer to do this on a 30-minute chart, so let me just back out for just a second. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're going to go that. Let me go with that. Let's see. All right, so this latest move, and we probably had a little bit of reaction to some high impact data this morning, is right here. Let's see how big that move is. Starts there, goes down about 16. So it's not big enough, and it's already pulled back. So this is just, if you get into a move that's too small, you can just so easily get stopped out because there's just not enough room to get in and out, before the trade unfolds. In other words, if your stop's too close, it's just too easy for price to randomly hit your stop. So you need at least 20 pips. All right, so let's see what's happening with the euro. The euro had a really nice big advance yesterday, and then it comes into sideways, then comes down here this morning. There's obviously a lot of buy orders in this area, so I'm just going to say we need to get through here, and that's basically what they thought too. As they come into that level. So we'll need to see price stretch out below 133.71. And if it can stretch out below that and give you a strong enough wave, that's a real wave. You got to know how to measure those waves. If you don't, you just won't know what you're doing. So it's got to be one strong wave with no pullback that comes out of here with enough room to get in and out, and then you've got potentially a trade. So let's drop down to the 5-minute on this just real quick and get a little bit better perspective. You see we're just right at that level, so it needs to drop through 133.71. Let me move over to the Australian dollar. Wow, interesting. So during the night, the Australian dollar, the momentum begins right there. There's no other place to start it. Pulls back to 38.2, pushes again. Now this morning, chop chop. Nothing we'd be really that interested. Let me take a little closer look at it. See how far it moved out of this level. See this level right here? We're looking for the sellers advancing again, and they move about 9 pips, not enough. Okay, Kiwi. Let's move over to the Kiwi. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. You'd want price to move below here or move above here. So that's where your sellers or your buyers will develop a high probability advantage. See, I wanted to talk very quickly about yesterday. Let's go to the 30-minute pound. We had ADP coming out at 8:15. That was right here. That happened right during this 30-minute candle right here on the euro. So this is the euro 30-minute chart. And we need to actually look back a little bit farther. We had a downtrend coming, and it was kind of held up right in this area. Let me give you a line here. It was held up right here. So we're looking for a move. It did drop down in there, and then ADP bounced it up. And then what happens is at 8:30, GDP data got released, and price started coming down through here. And it was moving very fast, so every once in a while when it's moving fast, we've got to drop to a 1-minute chart so we can see the behavior that's taking place. Remember, it's not candle patterns. Candle patterns are just a symbol of human behavior. So it's really important. It looks like I'm not finding yesterday. I guess I just got to scroll over far enough, huh? Yep, there it is. It's taking me a while. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here's what happened. I want you first to notice at 8:29, they already started to move. So somebody had this information before everybody else. And then when everybody gets it, of course, it takes off down here like this. And, this probably pulled back close enough to be a second push, but that's really a judgment call. But here's your other move right here that comes back, gives you an entry here, gives you an entry here, and then boom, right in there. So it's easier to see on the 5-minute. Boom, boom, boom. So that's the pattern that we look for. On the euro, oh, sorry, that was the euro. Let's go to the pound, take a look at what happened yesterday. On the pound, let's see, let's take a look. This was during ADP right here. And then let's drop down to the 1-minute. Move back in time to where that was. So let's just stay with a 5. This is just a lot of 5 minutes gone by since yesterday. So with the pound, we had a very similar situation. Pull down, pull back, second push. And then I think there was one on the Kiwi as well yesterday. Let me go back. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Very similar. That one's kind of hard to see. Maybe it was Australian dollar. It was. On the Australian dollar, it was around 10 a.m. Eastern. Starts to make a move, pulls back, makes a second push. Now, if it fell short of your target, as long as your stop was up above here, you got it when the Fed spoke later. But hopefully you got out a little bit earlier. I know some of our traders didn't. Okay, so that's a little bit about what happened yesterday. Again, today, just to remind you, need euro to stretch out below 133.71 for a high probability advantage for the sellers. For the pound, it hasn't had a strong enough advance right now. So what we need, let's zoom in a little bit on that. We've had a move so far of about 16. It's pulled back. It's already pushed again. Need to probably stretch out, below this level right here. So let's just move this key area down to here. So stretch out below this level. It doesn't have to go 20 pips below this level, but the wave has to start and break this level right here and be 20 pips or more. So that's what I would look for there. All right, so I just wanted to say great job to our team yesterday. I would love sometime to just show you the comments that we made on Sunday, on Tuesday night, on Wednesday before the data, then show what happens as the data is released, what I commented after the data, and so on, and how this story unfolds that gives you a really good idea of what's about to happen. But we'll just work towards that. Seems like I've lost Victor completely. But now what I want to do is I want to talk about the Currency Revolution segment. And I do have some great stuff for you. Victor talked last week about Bitcoin as one of the main emerging digital currencies. First of all, I want to tell you, Bitcoin is now accepted by more than 50,000 vendors. Companies like Overstock, Amazon.com, Subway, PayPal, eBay, Sears, and the list goes on and on and on. So I want to share a few things with you today. First of all, while China clamped down on Bitcoin, the U.S. has taken the position that it's perfectly legal and okay in the United States. Now, I told you there were two main issues to be solved with digital currencies. First was that they need more stability, and second, they need security. In other words, we don't want to be exposed to huge price swings up, and we want to know that our money's safe. Well, a couple of things. First of all, vendors have an incentive to use Bitcoin that you might not have thought about. MasterCard and Visa charge vendors 2 to 3% on every transaction. Bitcoin is much cheaper than that, way cheaper. In fact, the cost is so small, it's hardly even worth mentioning. So I see this as a factor that's going to continue to appeal to vendors and drive demand for Bitcoin. You guys, some of you guys know me. You know I'm really big on principles. What you want to focus on when you look at a vision is you want to say, does this promote growth in terms of what we're doing, easier trade? Two, does it make things more efficient? That's what you want to look at. There's the growth principle and the efficiency principle. And Bitcoin and digital currencies make things way more efficient. Okay, the second thing, while you can hold your Bitcoins in your own computer, in essence, be your own bank, there are places that you can store your Bitcoins where the companies keep 95 to 97% of the Bitcoins offline. So the Bitcoins are not in any danger of being hacked. So it's not too difficult for me to imagine that it won't be long before someone insures your Bitcoins. It's just not a big risk. It's coming. I can see that. Now, with vendors adding to that demand and security increasing, Bitcoin is making progress on key fronts that we watch. In fact, we're getting close to trading that ourselves. Now, there's some issues with respect to U.S. citizens trading bitcoins, but that's gonna improve over time. So one last thing. Someone asked me how you can use a $600 Bitcoin to make a $20 purchase on Amazon.com. How can we make smaller purchases? Well, it's not really a coin, it's an address, and essentially a ledger is created in the peer-to-peer system. So the way it works is if you have one Bitcoin valued at $600 and you send $20 to buy something on Amazon, when you do that transaction, you send $20 to Amazon and 580, in other words, the balance, to yourself. And of course, those are decimals when you're using Bitcoins, not US dollars, but you get the idea. Now, as a business person myself, I'm very excited about using Bitcoin. I'm very excited about the possibilities of what this means for the future. I want to share one thing with you guys that I think is crucial. I still see people trading long term on charts all the time, and they say it's the only way to go. And what I say to that is I say, hey, in order for you to trade a long term trend, there needs to be some kind of long term vision. Now, is there one in terms of the Eurozone going down against the dollar? There probably is a little bit of that right now. Is there one for the pound dollar going up long term? There probably is a little bit now, but not for 5 years there wasn't. But I want to contrast that with something else. We used to have visions of the Eurozone and their development and their growth and all of that prior to the crash of 2008. We had a really good vision of what that looked like over 10 years. We don't have that anymore. Okay? But if you get this vision of the currency revolution, people say, how can the U.S. ever get out of debt? I think the answer is they can't. I mean, 4 banks have over listen to this, $200 trillion in derivatives on their books. That's 4 banks, right? I don't think there's ever a way out of it. I just don't see it. So, but life has to go on. Business has to resume. So if you take a look at this and see if you think this makes sense, we need to move to a different system. So it's not the yuan out of China that's going to become the reserve currency. That's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to move into digital currencies where computer software systems tell you what a Bitcoin's worth because they just saw 1 million people use Bitcoin to buy different products. They can tell you what price they paid for those products. It can be any currency. It can be your flight miles. You can use your flight miles for buying popcorn. The system will go, oh, okay, they used 0.5 flight miles to buy a box of popcorn at Regal. We know how much those flight miles are worth. So that's where we're going, guys. And as far as the U.S. dollar, is the U.S. going down and all that? I really doubt it. I think it's just going to move into a different system. And I think the only losers are anyone who's holding U.S. dollar debt. That's basically. So I think what you're going to see happen over time is over the next 10 or 20 years, the dollar's going to be around. They're just going to keep printing more and printing more to pay the liabilities. And it's just going to be worth less and less and less and less until it's just like an old soldier. Old soldiers never die. They just fade away. And that's pretty much what I think you're going to see happen. So that's my currency report. Now, I don't want to get anybody too excited about Bitcoin, so excited that you lose your senses. I'm just excited because it's a vision. It's a vision that makes sense. It makes trade more efficient in the world. It gives us a way out of this mess that we find ourselves in the financial markets. So I'm excited about it for that reason. In terms of trading it and investing in it, I think you need to be very educated on that. And we'll certainly do our best to contribute and share what we're planning to do as this unfolds. Okay, so again, we have lots of new stuff coming out on our website next week. Write to me if you want to learn about our training program or if you just want to ask me any question at all. If you do what we show you how to do, you will make consistent profit. Thanks again for joining us today. Apologize for the visual feeds. Hopefully you were able to hear me and at least see me on screen when I was talking. We'll find out in a minute. But to To our members, I'll see you guys coming up in our live trading room in about 35 minutes. You all have a wonderful day.